Good morning, sports fans. All right. Oops, this is off. Okay. All right. We are. I have gloves right here. That's right. We have gloves. We have a master of the executions. And I'm ready-ish. I have no idea what chapter to do this guy, which I guess is the first, the first uh item on the agenda is figuring out what scheme to do for Buddy Boy over here. I think I think the runner up would be corn, like a world eater type thing, like red, or a possibly Night Lords. I think is a kind of a popular option. I just don't know. I don't know. Um, yeah, not too sure about which because it doesn't. This guy doesn't feel like he's being played very much anymore, right? It's not a like he's no longer the hot shit in both of the books, right? So maybe we just do corn. I like doing corn stuff, but yeah, we didn't do really Night Lords at any channel. Maybe we do that. Let's do Night Lords. Like I'm leaning for corns for like sellability or playability even, but Night Lords would look pretty dope. So yeah, let's do Night Lords. You know what? So we're just here to paint minis. We don't need to make commercial or gaming. We don't need to be good at the game to paint minis, right? We'll do this. Oh, we could do blue, the metallic thing. Metallic thing is probably very easy to do. Huh. Maybe too easy, if any. Yeah, let's do just a classic. So use these three. I think this should give us like a good enough contrast. Be one of these mixed in. No, probably this and do. Yes, I think this and null oil is gonna be fine. And then I used Black Legion because I want to repaint a couple of things black, so we're gonna use double down on this black here. Right. Okay. Don't worry, guys. I'm everything had like an issue today. Well, not everything. It's the broadcast was like in private mode for some reason, which I didn't even know was like like I can stream to myself for myself, and none of y'all are invited to my birthday party. Uh, it was like a weird option. I didn't realize. I think it's just to maybe like produce all the details while it's private, and then like put it up for put it up when you're ready, which I'm assuming is the base of the option. But why it switched to private by default? Because we did like a bunch, and that's the first time I see this. No idea. So it took me a while to unfigure that out, and yeah, now we have this bad boy, and we are very low on the glass thinner, so we're gonna have to be. Well, we don't need a whole lot of airbrush, depending on we if we want to do the a glowy axe, which I don't know. Maybe we do. I don't know. I don't know what we want, man. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out when we get there. The other option would be to paint this fucker in like a completely different. Like we could paint this guy purple and give it to our buddy Jack. That could be like an option because I'm I have no. Huh. I have no attachment to this buddy boy right here. You know what I mean? Um. Oh, speaking of next week, we should do probably do the lion. I don't think we've done the lion ever, or we could do a like a real scheme Azrael. Because last time we did like a wonky one. Because I have a pile of blood angels and dark angels, so that's probably like we'll get to tackle these at some point. You know, at some point. Okay, so we got a little bit of the thinner situation. We won't need a lot because I just want to give the model a coat of this Black Legion contrast paint. So we'll just and the contrast don't need to be thin the whole lot, especially this one that's like super opaque. Like this is not the goal of this is just to get a clear black base coat, not to do any contrast work, so to speak. Because it's not poorly primed. I just want to make sure I get the same like black tone across the entire model. Okay. Right. Nothing too grandiose just yet. Just good old fashioned black. That's gotta start with something, and this is as good as something as any to start, to tell you. Because maybe we didn't even need that, just because. Oh, I'm leaving. Oh boy, hold up, please hold. Whoa. Maybe we didn't even need that, just because if we intend to do null oil in the recesses, maybe the null oil would have been enough to like fix all the primer in the recesses, just because that's what like shading does. Well. Okay, now let's do Incubi Darkness. I have a good feeling about this color. And we don't need a whole lot. I put down like much of the one big like. Come on now. Okay. Yeah, this is probably. We really don't need a whole lot, so this is probably too much. So, especially if we want to leave some of the. We want to leave some of the black showing through, which we would probably do. These are Night Lords, not Sky Blue Lords, you know. That would be a cool chapter, though. Call them the Sky Blue Lords. They go sky. Misnomer thing. All right, so this is a lot more green looking than I thought. I thought it would be a lot more blue. But I think it's gonna work out. If it doesn't, we'll try something different. It's not, you know. Right. Okay, well let's try with the blue here, and then let's see what we get, and maybe we have to start over this whole affair. It's not the end of the world. That's I'm not like a Night Lord's expert by any means. I think I've painted like 3. You know. Now, normally I would be in favor of kind of the of keeping a little bit of that color, especially because we're only doing one guy. Like we could keep a little bit of that color in there and then mix our new highlighted color. But since it's way green, let's try to ditch the green completely. Go with blue, like straight up blue. We'll use Calidor Sky. Now this is sky color, but this is should be just highlights. So. This should be plenty. Yep. This is a good shake. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. So now that's blue. Yeah. Away with the sea green or whatever color the other thing is. Okay, now this color it means business. This means business. So now our strategy here is going to be to get like a color that's a little bit too light for what we want. That being said, the parts that are blue now no longer look green at all. So I think that's, you know, I think we did a nice job with that. So that our technique kind of works out a little bit. Sorry, I'm watching without sound, but I just want to say your channel looks awesome. As someone new to painting, it's so cool to see someone experienced paint. Hey, thank you, progress. I'm glad you're enjoying. I mean, you're listening to without sound, so I wait if you listen to the replay. So thank you. I love it, man. Thank you. I'll keep putting out videos. So glad you're watching them. And streams are fun. Okay. Bam, bam. Okay, this is okay. Okay. Like we're getting somewhere here. Now the question is, do we just add black to like? Do we shade this with black? I think that's a good option because we want to keep this blue dark, so that the next, so that like the lightning and stuff, if we decide to add them, which we should. So if we add the lightning and stuff, that's gonna be super like contrasty. Right. Just a little bit more in some of these areas, but not, you know. The foot here will kind of we have to cheat because they're like underneath the thing, so we do have to. Then break. I'm just gonna keep some of that blue here. It's no big like reason to keep the blue because it's the same blue that we that's out of the bottle. So, but I feel like we might come to use it sooner rather than later. So that's fun. That's fun. Here, let's clean this guy for realsies because I don't think we'll do. I don't think we'll do a glowy weapon on this fella right here. I think Night Lords is one of those schemes that's like really works really well with like more like traditional painting, I guess. But we could. There's no, there's no rules against it. I think this is a big ass weapon. So I think what we do is we'll do a null oil coat and then one like a series of like hedge highlights. So we're gonna channel our friend the Green Wombat in here by highlighting. It's like a voodoo thing where if you start hedge highlighting like a crazy person, he just shows up and goes, hey guys, he was here all along or something. No. He shows up because you're hedge highlighting. That's just how it works. Don't make the rules. That's how it is. Speaking, so we'll use these two brushes, 3 brushes, so many brushes. Trying to weed out my brush collection. I'm like, I'm gonna use them. Yeah. So now we'll do a null oil again. We want to bring back the dark of this, this chapter, this blue, and then we'll highlight on top of this, with our blue, maybe even a lighter blue. There. And then the next, the like debate, or the next question that we have to kind of answer is what color do we want this little robe thingy to be? Now the Games Workshop way I think is making it skin. Like this guy collects scalps, and that's what the cloak is made of. I don't like that too much, and the main reason is that the like skin tone does not look particularly good on this, like with this, like the having a bunch of like skin colored thing on this is not the most. It doesn't add too much to the mini. So I think we could go with black, and then I think a mistake would be to go red. We could do it. There's no, because I don't think it would look super like terrible. It's just one of the problem with Night Lords, or one of the keys with Night Lords is kind of like raining down the red, like not putting red everywhere, which becomes like a really hard thing because red is a baller. But the more you add the more it takes away from the whole look. You want to kind of limit the red a little, which I think our red is going to be limited to this little like hockey tape on the axe. That should be pretty much all that we're after. Maybe the Space Marine skull here, so that we have like a Blood Angel skull collector, which I'm in favor of. Again, also because it ties in with other Night Lords, usually, which we have 0 of them, mind you. But I'm painting these, as if they were part of an imaginary army that maybe we build or that we sell to somebody that has an army. The goal would be to make this guy for them to play with. Right. So we're gonna give this like a moment to dry here, and I think we're gonna go for black for the cloak. I think keeping all the stuff like kind of dark makes a lot of sense. So we're gonna keep our blue and everything. Use the just so we know. Just so we know. Hey, you know what time this is? This calls for more coffee. That's what's up. Product placement right there. See, my cup's empty. I'm not even drinking. It's just to show them. Yeah, that's what I do here. The shameless promotion you've come to love and expect. Oh no. Okay. So maybe before we do the black, maybe we do the face. This, believe it or not, this guy has a face in there, tucked in there away, behind the little executioner mask, which I think let's at least base coat this. And then I think he's carrying heads, not just like skulls. Fucked up on my brush here. The main thing why I don't really care about doing the cloak in skin is that there's also no faces, just like it's flat areas of skin. Like there's not even like details or anything about this. Which again, the motive is with like the patchwork is like kind of the indication of like, oh yeah. But I think it takes away too much for a detail that's like not that interesting. So yeah, if you want to do it because you think it's cool that this guy is like a fucking like the Silence of the Lamb type thing, and he puts the lotion in the basket or it gets the hose again. Um, well, more power to you, but we're not doing that. Right. I'm just gonna clean my brush a little bit thoroughly just to. Oh, this is the Windsor. This is a small. Oh, I see what's going on. This is the. I have two. Look at this, guys. This is a little content. Oh, might use that to make it in a video actually. This is the length of the these brushes are like functionally the same. Like they're detailed brushes. One of them is a Rosemary Zero. The other is a Winsor Newton One. But the main difference is the length of the hair on the. And you can see I've used both of these like kind of a lot. But like look at the length. Like this one here is like short and like completely thinner, like a straight up triangle. This one has more like the classic brush, classic like brush length or shape actually, but the length is what matters really. This one here is super short, and so I don't know. I'm sure there's like there must be like a pros and cons thing, but so far it's only the cons. I haven't found like why having this super short. Huh. Okay, let's okay. Sorry, little drop there apparently. I don't know how long we were not. Hmm. Sorry, don't know how long we were out of the thing. It says it disconnected. Okay, well, I guess I'm not talking about brushes. But then your video, Max. Uh, hey, sometimes the universe is telling you stuff. Okay, well, yeah, fuck me, I guess. All right. Well, we're not gonna let that. Let's just do the other. Let's highlight this little like skin tone thing that we just did to get the. The little highlight muscles going, and then we'll highlight the blue because the black is probably dry-ish. And we don't need to do this like, do it like we'll do it good enough. but we don't need to do this like silky smooth or whatever. Make sure it's kind of at the right places and then raise there. Like if you're not sure, just dry brush. Do one pass of dry brush and then you use what your dry brush kind of covered, and then you like this is kind of a foolproof way of doing this. Like it works okay-ish, you know. I think is really cool is that this guy has like a lot of personality for a guy that you barely see any of the face. Like he's got like a lot of personality in it. I like that. I think that's like a good, like a very cool detail. Okay, let's do the good old Kelador Sky situation. So we'll we saved some earlier. See, I knew it was not for nothing. Ah. That's exactly what I need. Extra space. My new desk is I need to change some stuff on my desk for streaming because it's a little bit too tight. Okay, so we'll do and we'll try to not do. There's not a whole lot of highlights, so we're kind of lucky because a lot of this like CSM stuff they have metallic trims, so these kind of take the not the place of highlights, but they're really where the highlights would really be. So right, so now we got all these little rivets. And this is not doing as much as I expected it would be. Potent. I mean, it's okay. It's like it's there and everything. Yeah, I'm complaining for no. And this is very it's time consuming. Like if you were to skip this part, I would get it. It is very time consuming. Like there's a bunch of there's a like a four like boxes. It's like a not a Venn diagram. I don't know what to call it. Like a box system, I guess. Like there's like four boxes that you can put, which is like low effort, low result, low effort, high result, high effort, low result, and the high effort, high result. And then you should always kind of like every task or everything that you do, and this works for like this is not a miniature paint thing. It just works really well for me. But everything that you do, you can put in one of these four boxes, right? Low effort, low result, low effort, high result, high effort, low, and so you should prioritize all of the low effort, high result tasks first, because that will show you like a lot of the progress, and you should completely discard the high effort, low result, or maybe not completely discard, but like really keep to a minimum, or really like reconsider, is this mandatory for what you're gonna have to do here. So, hedge highlighting is kind of a high effort, high result, which is like it's kind of the it takes a lot of time. It takes brush skills. That's a lot of like effort, but the result is really good. Like the foot in front here is now as well defined. It's got the line in the middle, so like it works. It's just painfully long. Same thing like the backpack is now we get the definition, which is it's stupid because it's not obvious, but because we did this, all the plates are like now like different. You can see the breakpoint in them. So it's a thing. You can consider it or not. Um, okay, so this is black. This is black. I'm debating whether we want to do the little lightning right now, which I think we do. Let's add some sexy ass lightning on this big ass shoulder plate right there. So our strategy is gonna be, I'm gonna open up the Google and I'm gonna look for pictures of lightning just to make sure I make something not completely stupid. Lightning strike image. Right. So I think one of the cool ways to do this, white and then blue around it, question mark. Interesting. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm sure there's a proper technique to do this. So let's do. Yeah, I think this one sounds easier. So let's try that one first, and then if it fucks up, it fucks up. So we'll do white. We'll take our small brush and white. We'll do. Whoa. All right. Now I'm putting white paint everywhere except where it needs to be. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's gonna be the smart way to go at this, and then we'll see. And again, I'm always using like little references just because I find it's easier, even if it's something very like common and easy. Okay, got that going for us. That looks certifiably like a little. Branch of this. Okay, so I like this so far. I mean, but this is like straight up white, which is not, like we got the design going, but that's about it. So we'll give this like a quick second, and then we'll just add like turquoise to this. So our turquoise, what we're gonna do is we're gonna thin this down like a motherfucker. Okay. An insane amount. Basically what we're doing is we're just adding like just a tint to this, and we don't need to do this like perfectly because it doesn't matter. And then there's a bunch of different ways. I went with the like kind of a almost like a pure like white look to our, because you could do if like I think it's way harder to do, but if you want to do the kind of the same principle but like reverse, you do the entire thing with turquoise or like light blue, like ice blue or whatever it's called, type of color, and then you come in and you highlight this with white, so you'll get like the full thing. But overall, this gives us like a little lightning pattern. And once we do the trim, the borders, which is what I'm gonna do right now, we'll get like an even better definition because then we'll be really like centered in. I think we go for the big bold gold look, like kind of our ultramarines, not the muted gold. This is another interesting debate. I think they both look great, but they both add like something very different to one another. Okay, now. Okay, this is yeah. Work out just right. I like this. I think it wasn't like too complex to do, and it's pretty like it's pretty obvious. There's at no point you look at this and question what it is. I think it's pretty straightforward. So I like that. Not the most like crazy thing to do. A nice touch. And you can kind of vary where you place them. This one here is there's only one like pretty obvious spot, which is the shoulder plate. But on a lot of Marines, you can do one on the leg or one on the chest, like the chest pauldron, or like there's like a lot of areas where you can use with your little lightning. I'd try to keep. I think my key would be to always just put one on each guy, one like pattern or one like up to one basically. Would probably be my go-to here. Now the axe is interesting because there's some sort of like rim to it. So I get let's put gold and let's see if we like it at the end there. Might just end up covering it, but I'll probably keep it. One thing I would not do on these is do a lightning like effect on the weaponry. I think that is not. I think it looks nice, but I don't think it adds enough on these minis that already have like the lightning effect on them. So I think that's maybe one aspect where I would be more against it. Like if you do, like we're gonna do this axe as like an actual like axe with like super paint. But if you do power weapons with like a power weapons type of color, um, I would not do like the lightning. Right. And really at this point, the only part where we have to be careful is around the blue, around the little fleshy flesh tone. All the rest is what is going on? The fucking OBS thing. It never does. This is weird. This is the like maybe it's this thing if I'm like not in the thing here. So weird. It's like disconnect. It usually never disconnects, and now this time for some weird reason it is. Please hold. I just want to figure it out. Channel. Excuse me here. I like when this kind of stuff happens is really pissing me off. Okay. Looks like it's okay. Sorry. Maybe also maybe I don't know. Maybe you guys don't get any of this disconnect thing. It's just me. It's weird. Honestly this is probably like a YouTube thing. Cuz why like it happens sometimes. Like it happens on Twitch also. So it might be it. But not doing anything. Unclear as to why we'd get different results, you know. These like bone situations, I think you can do them in a bunch of different colors. Like you could do them with silver or with gold. Not be the end of the world. We're actually gonna paint them in bone colored. But I don't think it's the end of the world if you don't like if you don't want to do this in gold. I don't think if you don't want to do this in bone colored, I think it's okay not to. I'm going very slowly here because there's like a lot going on in the chest area for such a small. Such a small like space. There's a lot going on. This is probably the longest step. Like silver might be a long one as well, or the bones. The bones probably another long step. Uh, Almost done. I think we just have to do the backpack. Like a final check on the backpack for the gold. Oh no, there. I lied. A lot more. Yeah, okay. Lots. Okay. Lots and lots. Okay. And the goal really is long, not because there's like so much of it, because there isn't that much, but it's just because you have to be careful, kind of the whole way through, because it's all the like trims that are just right next to the blue. It's probably longer than it needs to be, just because you have to be careful the whole time. Right. Oh, and then the backpack. So the helmet we'll do in red. I think I'm pretty convinced that red is a nice color. Here's this little. I'm painting over the middle part, just because the middle part we're gonna do in silver. Arabella, man, yes. Night Lords. Well, you were not there to pick, so I figured when he shows up, is he gonna be? What would he want us to do? So really, this is we picked it only for Parabellum team here. But it looks so far. So I think we're good on the gold front. There's this tiny little nugget of a part here that we could do, and I think we'll do it just because, like this here, this little line thingy. Clearly the trim from the leg, but you can't see it. But since our other leg is trimmed in gold, um, oh I should. This is insulting. You see, the camera picks it up so well. There's like a lot of detail on the inside leg, and is like this is not happening. Is it happening though? At least you should not be like this. Is completely stupid to do. You should not. We'll do it just because it's infuriating because the camera picks it up way better than like the human eye can. Man, we're doing this on stream, so. Okay, well that's as good as it gets. Because I like realistic, we could just unclip him from the base, and that would kind of like settle it. Well, like you unclip it and then you can paint from underneath, and that's that maybe we touch it up at the very end there. That might be what we do. Next up, let's focus our efforts on maybe silver, just to get the silver going with. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll just block our colors as we. Yeah, that's as good a plan as any. So lucky for silver, there's not too much of the. We'll start with the blade, which is like kind of I guess the main thing. And again, you could do this in like a power weapon like scheme as well. There's no. Because this is a power, like it's got the little power weapon thingamabob on it. So like it's not like a crazy thing to do. But since we don't have like a really an army to match it to, sorry, there's no. It's let's say you play Night Lords, you probably own Warp Talons, right? Like the Lightning Claw Raptor guys, and so all of these like Lightning Claws, you probably you want to do them a suitable our weapon Z color. I'll just match that with that big ass blade. Since we don't own Warp Talons because we're not we're not real Night Lord players. And the OBS are you guys losing the stream like constantly, or is it just my like a pop up on my end making me mad? The stream like always like buffering or whatnot? Because it might just be like OBS having like a hard time, but it doesn't show. Okay, well. Odd. Maybe I forgot to click. So hold on. Just have a look see here. Nope. I don't know. Well, because the weirdest part is it says like no dropped frame, which usually that's what happens is like tell you like oh dropped a bunch of frames. Well, it's not really interesting, but whatever. If you guys don't see it, that's fine. I'm stop talking about it. Oh, this could have been. This definitely could have been gold. What we're doing right now. Definitely could have been gold. Actually, I'm thinking we redo it. Yep. Yep. We are going back. Yeah, we are going back. We could have waited till the very end to do this. I don't know why I'm stopped. Like it's. Hey, this is not the first stupid decision. Okay. Probably not going to be the last stupid decision. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. So we are so back. Okay, let's go back to the silver now. Because there's a couple of details here. Well, the backpack is kind of interesting because there's a lot going on with the backpack. So we'll start with the obvious, which in the obvious is this little like actor thingamabob, and then the gun. And then we'll figure out what we want to do with it. And there's a bunch of spikes. Eesh. Okay. Middle one would paint like a bone fragment because it looks like a. These other ones you can't really tell, so I'm just gonna do them silver because I think it looks best. But the other one it really looks like a claw or something. Paint it like pinkish, like a big lobster claw. Okay, and then let's look at some other areas where we could introduce silver. Just because there's not a whole lot going on, so. Oh yeah, he's got little parts of chainmail, like not a whole lot of chainmail going on, but he's got like chunks of this now. Yay! Honestly, not a whole lot more. I think maybe we just like kind of table this silver, work on a couple of other things, and then we'll come back to it if need be. Um, let's. I'm kind of tired of doing base coats for now. Maybe let's do something a little bit more interesting because this is a stream after all. So try to keep it, fun, fun and engaging. He says, yawning. Okay, let's do Gilman. The reason I picked this gold is to do this contrast because I want like a super dark, like rich color. Because this contrast paint right next to blue, I think, is gonna be like pretty saucy. Um, pretty saucy. Hopefully I'm right. If not, well, it's okay. We'll just not the whole thing. Because like like a very like light like tarnished gold would also look really great. Like more less yellow, more like matte colored. It would look. I think it would look really good on this as well. It's just different idea. But I like to kind of embrace a little bit the cartoony. Right, Lords? Yeah, we don't need to do full full cartoony, but definitely adding like a bunch of vibrant colors almost gives them like a superhero feel. Because right, like all the superheroes, they always have like these big contrasting colors. That's why it's like full style, but really the color combos. And we just have to be careful with this because because it's like a contrast paint. It's very potent stuff, and so if we slip up, it's gonna leave a mark. But overall, this is a pretty big game change. Like if you look at the top part of the gold and like this was the same, right? And then so this is a very like it is like a big deal to do this because such a game change. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the silver. Well, not color, but the silver is also looking a little bit like ass right now, and it's gonna be something else when we're done with it. Side of that. Okay, that's pretty. Okay, okay. Work our way back up. Oh, dude, let's get that part out of the way here. We'll probably. Oh, so far so good. This is completely. Again, if you're doing this at home, do not do this part. Nobody will ever know. We know because the camera has this weird angle where the light is shooting straight through, but like for like a real human being, never. It's like it's also coupled with the fact that this is like it's because of our primer and stuff. It's like it's jet black, so like really even less reason to like to pay attention or to draw attention to this is inside there. Get out. Two or three, we're almost done. This. That one in the oh, the backpack. Go. Uh, oh yeah. This is I like this. I wasn't too sure. I'm on board with it. I think we captured like the Night Lords pretty well, like so far. Like we're not too, I don't know, we're not too far off. Even though I'm like kind of like winging it, right? I have like zero plan about this. I'm just so yeah. I think so far we're doing okay in the like a Night Lords aficionado. I don't think would be too like um not necessarily, yeah, displeased, I guess is the word. Like we wouldn't piss off like real fans. Cause that's really when I'm not really like Night Lords fan. Like I like them, I think it's a cool scheme, but really I'm not like the Night Lords connoisseur or whatever. I just think they look cool. Um, that's always like dilemma, not necessarily dilemma. Yeah, a dilemma, I guess. Or like, don't piss off the real fans by doing anything crazy. Then again, it's my Mitch. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. But um, there's lore and everything. Like, because we can paint like a blue and gold Space Marine and just say whatever. Like he's like a renegade warband of Night Lords. Night Lords that like have stopped the way, and then their planet is like super sunny, which is weird. And their armor got like kind of washed. Like there's whatever like story we want to make. But if we want to say this is a Night Lord's guy, then we have to, there's some lines that you cannot cross. If you want to say this is a Night Lord, I think that's where the debate is. You know what I mean? Like nobody's stopping me from doing this guy in turquoise and pink. But if I'm painting it turquoise and pink and I say this is a Night Lord's, well, you know, somebody might want to have words. And rightfully so. It's obviously not the case. And I started on the bones situation. No clue where we're heading with this. But I'm interested in doing the bones kind of. I don't know. I guess we're past the early point, but like right now, just because I want to see, because the bones have like a very different tone to them. They're like beige. So I want to see what that looks like before we go any further, because there might be some color issues here, because we're entering a whole different vibe of color right. Because right now it's not so bad because it's still kind of a darker color, but I think once we add the bone, it might start to might run into some issue. Not big issue, just sometimes colors look weird. As the kids, it's a vibes thing. Colors do not vibe. But we would like them to. I guess we should have done the freaking. We leave it at the base coat. And then we got the skulls on top. This guy has a lot of like time. I thought it would be like a very quick stream, but there's a lot of details going on. Lots of fallen, fallen. Bones front. Okay now. Okay now. Okay. Well, I guess yeah, we'll do as much as I would like to finish this part. I think we'll go back with our black and our red, and we'll just base coat the colors that are like missing on this mini. So in black we got the robes and the cables and the little hat. Little hat. Little hat first. Hat. It's funny. Oh, and there's like a little ear. The silver, just so we remember. Just so we remember that we have to do. Okay, so a little head action. Giggity. Uh, red. We'll do hair just do one in black, and then we'll do the other one in brown. We have like a detail or two in brown. So different things between. It's not a big. These are details that are there, so you need to paint them. But also, if you could get away with not painting them, I would suggest doing that. Like, so unimportant, you don't really want to bring any attention to. Cables is always like a very long, because it's cables is like 100% detail work, so it's like all small and everything. They're also usually in like corners. Okay, so that's done. That's and then black for the main, the main thing. Oh, we forgot a little piece. So if you're doing this in like an actual like patchwork, like doing every patch a different color, I would suggest picking like a tone and keeping in that range. So like don't do like one dark, one light, one red. Like pick either like all muted colors and do that. Like like a different bunch of skin tones that are like very similar. Don't mix too much. Because I think that's where you lose it again. It becomes this whole other thing that's like this is not like a I don't think this is like the main feature of this mini. That's also why I'm not doing it red. Is I don't think this benefits too much of being red. Because like realistically, what I want when you look at this guy is to look at the big ass axe, right? That's like so if we do something else that's like not like pulling away from the attention, I think we fucked up because like the cool part about this guy is that he's carrying an axe that like bigger than he is. Maybe I don't understand what Warhammer is all about, but to me, it's about carrying an axe that's twice your size. You know. So I like black for this part here because I think it would fit nicely with like the rest of an army. The Marines also don't need a whole lot of red because they have these like bat wings, right? If you do like if you go like the full Night Lord situation, all your little Marines will have the little bat wings head. So you don't need a whole lot of red to this whole affair work. So we got our black action going. We'll fix the two silvery parts. Which were actually the little the communication thing. And the chain. Literally like 6 rings of chain. It's like, hey, look, we're not gonna fight it. You know what I mean? Like we're not fighting this. It is. Okay, let's do the red. Let's get the red out of the way. at least a base coat just to see if we're, because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my assessment of all of this is wrong, and that is not the proper color for all of this, and we need more. I've been wrong plenty of times on this channel. Probably on this very stream, I was wrong a couple of times. Happens. What? If we're wrong? Like, besides the blood effect at the very end, nothing on this mini is really permanent. Once we had the blood effect, we have to be pretty sure, because it's pretty much of a no escape situation where it's really hard to come back from it if you f up, or if you decide, oh, I did not want blood, you're in for a bad time. But all this other stuff that we're painting, like let's say that I wake up tomorrow and then they cancel, like, a Night Lord posts something vile on Twitter and he gets canceled and we have to get rid of it. We'll just repaint the entire thing. Pretty easy. Miniature painting is so forgiving about, like, doing the wrong thing or improving or repaints and everything. Okay. I think that's what I like about doing this helmet in red, is that this is very Night Lords-ish, because this guy doesn't have the little wings. But we're also introducing red on top, which makes him like fit well with his other buddies, because all the buddies, you have to think they have like a red detail around their head. So we're just contributing to this whole feels thing. And then we also have like a couple of options in our like choice of red, basically, because we could keep this going with that we're going with, like this vibrant red, but we could also shade this with something like Flesh Terror's red contrast paint and like give this like a whole super dark red to it, which I'm not against, because this red is very overpowering. Like as it stands right now, once we shade it, it's probably less. It's gonna be a little bit less obvious, but as of right now, is the, like, you notice the red first. Like that was kind of our goal, and well, you see it, Also, it's really funny because the when you look at it like fast, you just see a red helmet, but that's not his actual head. I like that part. That's very interesting. That's a very gruesome thing. It's like, guy's head is not his head. It's a trophy stuff. So now I'm just gonna highlight all of that black really quickly. You could dry brush this here. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way, but you could. And we're also gonna highlight all of the little stitches on it. I don't want to do them a different color. For two reasons: A, it's long as fuck, and B, it also this drags attention really quickly away from it, and then you notice a bunch of stitches. This is also partly due to the fact that we're painting the cloak in black, which like is kind of a very polarizing color. Whereas if we did the cloak in like red, we could do like if we do the dark red, we could use like black to do the stitches. It would not be so obvious. Or if we do skin tone, we could use like red or even brown on the stitches if we like really wanted to, or bone color even. It just with black, our options are limited where we could paint them gray, but we could also keep this into like a manageable paint scheme of like like it was or something right now. Right now we're at 1:30, an hour and 30 minutes. So like we could let's say our goal for this is a 2 hour on like one of your little character in an army is kind of fine job because you don't have that many characters, guys like also like we want to keep this into like a manageable scheme. Like let's say you're like a power gamer, which more power to you. Great customers, and most of them are my friends. Well, not most, a lot of power gamers. A lot of my friends are power gamers. It's like the other way around. Like you're gonna paint three of these guys because that's how Warhammer is played, right? If something's good, you paint three of it. Games, find the best thing, play three of it. Repeat with the second best thing. It kind of works. It's not the ultimate way, but it ain't a wrong way either. You know what I mean? Okay. So I like this. Let's keep fucking about. Oh, we didn't do any of the like. There's like literally two brown things. Let's do those, I guess. Like, is the only color that's like unpainted is the brown. After that, we'll have like a base coat on everything. So a big ass mold line. Can we remove? Maybe I need two more MOE. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's. I'm pretty sure it got nerfed in the new World Eater thingy, right? Because it used to give it fight first, and then now it does something different. Because it used to be the shit, right? Where if you had three in the World Eater, it was still pretty good. Or usually you had two, and then you had Karn as well. Because like Karn is, if you could take three Karns, you would. But also somebody told me recently about like painting a Corn army in a World Eater in a Corn army in a Night Lord's scheme, and I thought that was like a baller idea. I don't think I don't think it affected this choice. Right, this has nothing to do with it, but I thought it was like really interesting because like when the Night Lords came out like in '95 or something, they were a Corn warband originally, which like kind of makes me think about it like that. So you're telling me the guy that loved torture and disembowelment are Corn followers? Well, hot damn. Who the thunk it? Violence. Well, how big? Okay. Oh, and then the hair on that last guy here. Thing you rely on +1 enhancement to make them good. Oh yeah, so it's like it was like the glaive or something. see. You know, I've played against for sure of national world leaders. World leaders is probably the army I've played the most against, just because back when I had the store, one of my buddy he worked like night shift, so he could play in the middle of the afternoon when nobody could play except me. So we played like every week, but he had world leaders. So I've played like a fuck ton of armies into world because he would always play world leaders of some fashion. So like I've played a lot of games against the old world leaders. That's why I remember this guy fondly. Well, not so fondly, but to some extent. Okay, right on. So now, yeah, let's keep dabbling with the red because I think we do if we do red and then we shade this with brown, we're gonna tone down a lot of the 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 brightness because that's usually what it does. But also our brown, we can use the brown shade on the skin tone that we've got going on. So that's for good old 2 for 1. Same thing here. I'm gonna highlight this in the most stupid way known to man, which is every little line of tape. But if you do it, you masochist. I am, because that's what the people want. That's why you log into the internet. You in the comfort of your own home, don't you? Brush the fuck out of this. Also, like if even if you do it like this, you don't need to do it perfectly. I don't know if the red is kind of hard to tell because it's red is one of my favorite colors to paint just because it's like not the most opaque color. You get to blend all of this really easily. It's like you're struggling to get like smooth blends. Paint more red, because like red is a pretty easy color because it's bad, very counterintuitive, but like the goal of like blending and doing like smooth transition is that your paint needs to be slightly transparent. And well, red is like slightly transparent kind of by being shitty. So while it's normally bad for paint, it's exactly the effect that you want in this very specific scenario. And also, this is less and less through, whereas this was like the case back in like early 2090s, like red paint was like first. But now the red paints and the pigments that they put in there, so you can find opaque reds. Like back then, it didn't. Like there was one, and then on the pot it said, "Don't lick your brush, or you need to call poison control. Don't fuck with this." Um, you think I'm joking, but no. Red is one of the toxic things because like the base of the pigment, red is one of the toxic thingies that you should not do. There was a big rumor that like when Games Workshop released Mech Right Red, the first like well they were not called base, foundation paint. Mech Right Red was like barely passing any of the like I guess the FCC thing in the US or whatever, like the quality thing of like is this poison or is this red paint? Apparently, it was barely passing. That's why it was so good. That's a urban legend for you. No way of knowing them. But that was the word. Okay, we'll do a little a quick brown highlight on this. We're like really close to finishing this off. Brown highlight and highlight. install situation. Okay. Then we got one more. We got one more. Well, a couple more silvery highlights things. The first one being here. There's like two. So and the other. What was the other thing? I distinctly remember thinking, oh yeah, this should be silver. Huh. Well, one less detail to do, I guess. What was it? Well, we'll figure it out eventually. No idea. Okay, well, you know. Hey. All right, next up, let's do. I guess we can shade everything but the bones. About right. So let's start with the silver. So we'll use our Black Templar. Black Templar color. So Black Templar contrast paint, but we're gonna thin this down, and then we're gonna do all that silver with this, and maybe the brown as well, just because the brown get like a very dark highlight. It's gonna look cool. But we do need to thin, because this is like really potent stuff. So if you, it's not working if you don't thin it down, but it's definitely a little bit too much. That's also why it won't work on the bones, is because it's way too dark. Bones are like really light, like obviously. Um, Nature of the thing, right? So for that we're gonna use Null Oil. At least we'll need to like highlight the. So this blade here, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do one pass of only the like the blade part and towards moving down. Okay. This. And then for the non like blade part, we're gonna do one pass as well if we can from this side, and we're gonna push it towards the handle. And that's because there's not a whole lot of like texture on the blade. So if you let the contrast paint do its own thing on the weapon, it's gonna look really weird. This is gonna pool somewhere, but where you don't know. And so you want to kind of control the chaos about this. So we're gonna repeat that technique. I don't know if you guys can tell. There's very little of it on my brush. That's also why it doesn't like pool like crazy. And then once this is like kind of dry, then we can come back and like kind of dabble with it. But also remember, we're gonna add a big blood effect on this, so this does not need to be perfect. In fact, all of our blood effect we can place strategically to hide whatever like we think looks off. That's a cool little trick. That you can like blood effects and like weathering is like a great way to hide other like little details that you're maybe not too about. Some people would call that like cheating. They would be kind of right, but also, who's gonna know? Right? Like you'll like if we do it on this stream, you'll know because you've seen me paint it. But once the result is like done, who knows? Don't see there was a mistake because it's hidden now. And so it's the same thing as like if I repaint this mini entirely in a World Eater scheme, you can't tell it previously was a Night Lords. Unless you've like actually seen me, so you can't tell. Oh, this mini is like a whole mistake. He cheated. It was a Night Lords before. Well, you wouldn't know. Right. So now this is done. This is done. Chainmail. The chainmail is kind of like actually one of the hardest ways. It's so like it's like almost randomly placed. It's so weird. It's not like the hardest part to paint or anything because it's literally the same as like every other thing. It's just odd because you have to fucking find it. It's like it's really oddly placed. It's on there. And then here, maybe we feel inspired, and then we blackline. You guys knew it was coming. It's maybe we blackline. Maybe we like that look, and we do it. If you're new to this stream, like you're watching this now, or you're watching this VOD, and you don't know, I love blacklining. Okay, blacklining is a cool effect. Takes a whole lot of time, a little bit of patience, and it's not good by any stretch of the word because it's very cartoony. I love it. So every chance I get, I sneak it in there. And this model here is probably going to give us that chance. Take it. I don't like purple. You guys like purple. I do purple because people want me to paint purple. I don't give a shit about purple. I like green. My color is green. The Hellfire like color thing is green for sure. I paint purple because the Twitch chat is a bunch of bullies. That's why. And I give in to bully. You know why bullying's still around? Because it fucking works. Okay. Don't do it though. But kids, don't do it. Okay. So that's that. I think we're pretty good here. Now we're gonna add our brown shading. And then the last like step is gonna be a couple of touch-ups. Oh, I remember what was supposed to be silver when I did the touch-up thing. I said something else I needed to paint silver. Tiny detail in the back helmet. Okay, so red. So a grok search aid. We're gonna use this on the skin tone and on the red. And we're not gonna be too dainty with it. First of all, on the skin tone, there's very little going on, so but then on the red is the interesting part, because take our red to the level because it's gonna add all that contrast between all these like tape situation. Each little band of tape is now gonna be its own thing. And it's also going to mute it a little bit so that it's not going to be so overpowering. And if we go too heavy and we're not too sure that we like it, we can just re-highlight this. No. Re-highlight comedy, stop us. The highlight police is not on this case. But I kind of dig it. We're going to let this dry because once it dries, it's going to give us like a little bit of a different look. On the helmet, we're not going to be super generous. Again, the helmet has like very little surface for the shade to cling on. Like it's still big, bold like plates. So if we're too generous, it might pull in unfavorable ways, like in unflattering looks. That's unflattering. Okay, so now we can turn our attention to the bones. And you're like me, boys. Your attention's always a little bit on boning. What? So we can do this. So we got our base color here, and then we're gonna do this in the like a three. We're gonna do a 3-step, maybe a 4-step process. You can, but the beauty of this color like selection is if you want to do this in 17-step, it's the same exact 4 colors. You just have to either blend or fade the colors in. So this technique is really good because it takes you from like the low effort of what we're doing right now. You might even keep it at 3. I think low effort bones is 3 colors. Yeah, we can do 3 for this. We don't need to do 4, but we could do 4. Basically, do you want to add white to this? Since our mini is overall pretty dark, I think maybe we skip the white part. So this color here is Iron Rack Skin. It's like a green bone with green a little bit. I don't know. They call it skin because I think it's for the elves that have this like this actual like skin tone, but really it's a very proper bone color. And the skulls is like kind of the hardest part because like the skulls you do have to like blend it in a little bit, and since we're trying to like shortcut this situation, blending is not going to be the most like favorable thing. So let's just go for it right now. Like if we're doing this in like more mixes, then we could have like an in between coat of this. So like half of our Skaven color and half of our elf color. Let's put it that way. I think the base color that we use, I think it's called Storm Vermin color, which is but because we're like again because we're only doing like 3 passes, the gradient is very potent between the two. We could mix them if we wanted to, or a smoother transition. Here. We'll do this and we'll do a shade, and then maybe we come back to this one, the same color iron rack thingy. So it's 4 steps, but 3 colors, but 4 steps. It's not too out of place as you can see. It's just a little rough. Again, if you don't know, and like if you're not sure about this, you want to keep this color combo, but like highlights is stuff, and you think you're gonna fuck it up, just dry brush it. It works. Like you dry brush it a little bit, and then that will tell you exactly where it's supposed to go, and then you use like your little brush to like highlight, and you highlight around it till it's like a little. And last little place here. We are almost done with this guy. We also need to do a base. I have a couple lined up. Like 10 minutes before the stream, I realized I didn't have a base for this guy, and I think we did a base on every stream mini that we did. So we're not gonna break our streak, because that's one thing that I'm very like bad at. Like a lot of the minis that I paint, I don't have bases on them, and a lot of my pile of shame is like a bunch of miniatures with no bases. Like they're all completed except the base, and they can stay in that like state for like the longest time. Especially like models for my armies and stuff. I have like a bunch, and if I don't like need to play them, or even sometimes I do need to play them, they could be baseless for like a very very long time. Okay, this okay. So now let's pull our Nuln Oil here, which I don't think we've used at all. Oh, that's not true. The blue is shaded with Nuln Oil. That bold face light. So Nuln Oil here. And again, everybody knows like Nuln Oil is a little bit weaker than it used to be back then. So it's kind of a bonus because now we get to use it on this, on the bones. The Black Templar color we use is way too potent. Nuln Oil is just perfect. This is gonna go into all of these recesses just to put more darkness to them. I'm gonna fuck with the beige tone of it too much. Because the main issue, the main goal of this like this wash is first of all to like tie in both colors, like the bone and the green, I guess, for lack of a better. But also you want to bring back all the black into the recesses, like the skulls. Like I've talked about this. I think it was maybe last stream or last time we painted skulls. Anyways, like skulls are most defined by the holes, not the actual surface. Where if you take a sheet of paper and you just draw the shape of the eyes for skulls and the nose, you're gonna, even though there's no outline at all and this the only thing that there is, you're gonna know instantly that it's a skull. That's how you tell that it's a recognizable part. And so if that's not like fully black, then you're fucking up. Like not fucking up, but you're not giving yourself a good chance. And it's pretty fucking easy. Oh shit! This model is pretty freaking cool, guys. I was not. This guy is looking pretty fly. I went. I didn't know like exactly what to expect. I haven't painted that much of this mini, but I kind of like it. And then we're just gonna take Black Templar, and we're just gonna do like a very minimal black lining, and like not even that much. It's just putting a couple of details back in black. So I'm not gonna do the whole thing. I do want to take some extra time on the Space Marine helmet, because it's red, and on top of the mini it does, come on buddy, it does draw like a lot of attention. So if it's not done like properly, it's gonna not work too great. That's one place where it's, I think, worth it. And the axe, I don't think we need to like, it's not the smoothest thing ever, but it's also not bad, and there's not a whole lot of like textures to go around to like help it really. So now I think what I need is to find the blood thing, and we're gonna add some blood effect, and then we're gonna find a base. So give me 2 seconds. I'll just put the beer back screen, because otherwise you'll be staring at my butt, and I may or may not be wearing pants right now. So let's not risk it. Okay, well, this is a awkward. I do have pants, but it was a joke. I don't have the blood thing in my stuff here. If I so, we're gonna do a little mixy thingy, and our mixy thingy is gonna be actually, yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Let's do. So we're gonna do Black Templar. We're gonna do Flesh Tears Red, and we're gonna do Hard Coat. And we're gonna sponge action. So we need all these colors here. So you get the ID, the fun part, I guess, is we're gonna play with like 2 different. So we're gonna do straight up Flesh Terror. We don't need to. Well, Flesh Terror and a little bit of varnish. The varnish is gonna give us like a glowy. It's gonna give us like a glowy. The gloss varnish is gonna give us like a gloss finish. You know. See how I connected those dots, folks? This is professional for. But it's also gonna fuck up with the transparency of the whole thing, so be mindful of that. And then we're gonna use, again, Black Templar is like a little bit more transparent than the Black Legion. That's why I want to do this. Okay, so we have our 2 colors, and we're using contrast because it is transparent, and so that should help give us like the, you know, like blood as like this transparent liquidy thing. We're gonna start with our lighter color, and this is gonna look a little bit weird. Don't worry about it. And the reason it looks weird is because it's too light. Simple as that, but that's okay. We have a plan, remember? And it's also kind of like the bigger effect, meaning the other color we want to be like almost like contained within this. That's fine, and we'll do the back of this little muck as well. And now I'm gonna like switch side of my little sponge, and now we're gonna go into the darker of the two mixes, the one with the more black to it. And then technically you should wait. You could wait for this to be dry. We're not gonna. That one a little bit too transparent. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna introduce Black Legion to it, just because we don't want to be transparent. Whew. Wait, this is potent. Again, you could use like the blood for the blood god. It's fine. I mean, blood for the blood god with like a little bit of the a little bit of the Black Templar contrast to it. It gives you like a very similar thing. You can buy I usually use window paint. Window paint is great because it's like it's got the good consistency, the shine. Is like it does everything. You don't need to fuck with it. It just But overall, this is like a pretty interesting color. I like this. Now we get something like this. And I'm very much in favor of this look. And then this one here is also not really too noticeable. But so I like this. I think this is the best way. Even if you're doing blood for the blood god like technical paint, I would use a sponge to do it because you get this kind of like weird like patchy effect. And then for a base, I think we just go for this guy here. That's like right now it's like brown-ish, and we're gonna dry brush this to gray. We don't want like something too crazy, simply because our guy is very bright and bold. So we're kind of fine with like a darker, not too vivid. That vivid's what we so like we want like a matte kind of base. So nothing crazy about this because the guy is gonna shine on top of it. Like the guy is the main feature. We don't need to bring attention to anything else. He's doing that. Because that's usually if you have like dark minis, you do really light bases. It's gonna bring the attention to the mini that's otherwise way dark because you have a super light base. But if you have like a light mini, which is kind of the case for our, shocking as it is, our Night Lord, we just need a base to just showcase the guy. So this toned down, so still want it to be like a little bit interesting. So that's why we got the brown going on. But there's a tutorial for this specific thing on the channel, so want to. This one's like partly done. Then much though, again, not too much of the highlight color because otherwise. But at least a little bit. Otherwise, this is like way. Now we get like a good, a good contrast between all. Whoops. Good contrast between all these like parts. Like, there's some brown, there's some black, a little bit of everything. So we don't need this guy anymore. Oh, actually, I'm gonna use this for after the stream, so not fuck with it too much. So let's see if this guy breaks easily from. Where's the? Oh, there it is. Should. Oh, I have a good feeling. Less and less of a good. I had a good feeling because only one foot was glued, but apparently that foot is never coming off. Oh, Maron. Oh, never mind. What a weird thing. And then I guess we need glue. Okay. Trying to dodge the axe because it takes a little while to dry this effect, so if we put our finger on it, it's gonna fuck up. Well, I guess this is real paint. This is not the specialty product I usually use. So it probably dries a little bit quicker. We don't need to risk it though. You know, there's no biscuit at the end for us to risk. Oh, sorry, I'm off frame. And then, of course, what's left is giving this fella a proper rim job. Jaune. The brush I have here, bigger one. Not grab the axe again. Dainty, dainty way of picking it up. It's not because I'm grossed out or anything by it. It's just trying to dodge the axe just to make sure we don't do a fucking fingerprint puddle on the deck. Okay, and so this took us, you know, we're 2 hours and 12 minutes in. There were a couple of hiccups and we kind of winged it a little bit, but overall, for a character like this, I don't think it's a bit of a time, you know. And so here we go with the final result. Oh yeah, this a lot. This blood thing for something that we just like winged. I think I'm pretty satisfied with this guy. So yeah, so that was a good stream, fellas. I'm pretty happy with this look. I've not resumed my like shipping operations. Like Canada Post is doing like they're fixing their stuff to be able to ship to the USA, but it's not there yet. And since I only used Canada Post so far, so it is for sale, but for sale in Canada at this moment. So just text me if you want it or whatever. We'll figure it out. I don't know if there's a video tomorrow, guys, so maybe it will have to be next week. But thanks for the support today. It was a wacky stream. Got a couple of like weird tech issues, but we pulled through. We got a nice mini, and that was great. So thanks everybody, and until next time, no excuses. I'll be like champions. Have a great day.